Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here I have another great article for you guys from Mike over at Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check it out. So I scrolled down and I picked a part of the article that I wanted to discuss in this video. And I think this is an even deeper problem that many aren't discussing. And I don't know why Verizon is not making this a bigger deal. And it's the converged offering, the bundling, right? As an example, just for a comparison, AT&T's converged offer is their bread and butter. If their reps are not selling one or the other, as the store manager, I would have to give them a coaching. I would have to tell them, why didn't you attach fiber? And if it's a fiber customer, why didn't you attach wireless? I have to ask that because that's the bread and butter. That's what you want. You want to converge the foot traffic into either or of your products. Unless that customer is really adamant about not wanting the specific services or the additional services, you push. You are a sales rep. You make it happen. But hearing your executives speak on a converged offering the way that the CFO has recently at this conference, the Morgan Stanley conference, as a rep, and most reps don't even get too deep into this or follow any of this. How can you have any confidence? So the CFO suggested that's not necessarily a focus for Verizon. Speaking about the converged offering, we're not seeing that huge demand that others have seen elsewhere. He said in response to a question about convergence. He noted that's just 10% of Verizon wireless customers subscribe to a converged bundle. That's an issue. That's a problem, in my opinion. Why are you not trying to sell the converged bundle? Why are you not pushing that? So you mean to tell me of the upwards of 400,000 people or close to it that joined your FWA product, you couldn't even convert 10% to your wireless? Like that's just mind-blowing. Are they not trying to grow wireless at all anymore? Is that it? Are they just closing the door shut on it? And I get, I saw some of the other reportings. I've been reading, I've been researching. I understand that there is a solid amount of the fixed wireless access base that's joining Verizon that's completely new to broadband. I understand it. So those customers are not coming from cable. But if they're not with you as a wireless provider, why are you not pushing the converged offering? It's not being pushed. I don't understand it. Even in the marketing material, I really don't see that pushed. Right? How hard is it to make a solid marketing commercial digitally or on a national campaign through TV commercials? How hard is it to make a 30-second commercial pushing the converged offer? Hey, if you join wireless, you get fixed wireless access at this discount. Or if you join fixed wireless access and you get our wireless services, you get the FWA at this price. How hard is that to push? It can't be that difficult. Verizon, I feel Verizon is making it more difficult themselves. These are self-inflicted wounds, I feel. It can't be that hard. I mean, AT&T is showing you the blueprint. The converged offering, it works. And then he goes on to say, we don't see the demand that others have seen elsewhere. Clearly speaking of AT&T. How? How are you not seeing that? Because you're not pushing it. You're a senior C-level executive, and you're speaking of it in a way that's meaningless, like it doesn't mean anything. Next. Let's talk about the next topic. It doesn't drive any meaningful traffic. It's only 10% next. Yeah, because there is no focus around it. If I was a part of that team, I would tell the team, "Hey, look, I'm going to get a small team together. We're going to push this converged offer." And I think it can be a big deal. It'll probably lead to of course it's accretive. It'll lead to a better CLV, and it'll drive down churn in the future. I'm pissed if I'm, anywhere at the level that Hans Vesperk is or some of his VPs below, if I see the numbers that we got close to 400,000 fixed wireless access customers to join Verizon, meaning that's traffic coming through the channels, the calling queue, online, chat, in-store, whatever, and I couldn't even convert 10% to wireless. Oh, I'm pissed. I'm going through all kinds of doors and meetings, and why are we not converting at least 10% or more? My goal, a competitive goal, I got to do at least 20 to 25%. If I have all this fixed wireless access traffic, 20 to 25%, I'm converting to wireless. And if I can't get there, I have to figure out why it's not working and what we may need to do to converge the offers. Even if I got to go to AT&T route, right? I look at the analysis and I say, the fixed wireless access discount isn't working, right? People are taking it at the full price because cable just sucks, but they're not getting my wireless. So I got to figure that out, right? So I look and I say, what if we go full-fledged on the converged offering, and if you bundle fixed wireless access with wireless, we'll give you a 20% discount, right? That's just the competitive nature. But Verizon doesn't think like that. Maybe instead of giving the discount to FWA, what if I converge the offer and I tell them they can get a 20% discount? Overall, it might make them think like, oh, they're getting a bigger discount, but yet they might be getting a similar discount to what it would have been by just giving that, dollar amount off on the FWA product. Folks, it can't be that hard to figure it out. It just can't be that hard. It's Verizon being stubborn. All of this is, in my opinion, self-inflicted. And yet, they're barely going to do better versus Q4 last year. That should be an afterthought. If in this quarter, come I think January 23rd is when they report again. They already posted it on the investor relations page. If they come out and they say they grew to 80,000, which is double the volume of Q4 of last year, I'm flying to New Jersey and I'm slapping all of those C-level executives. I'm slapping Hans. I'm slapping Sampath, the CFO. I'm slapping them all. And I'm telling them, you mean to tell me a Q4 holiday quarter that's naturally, more busier than any other quarter, 3 months, you only did 80,000 lines? With being as promotionally heavy as Verizon has been in a long time. And like I stated in the previous video, AT&T and T-Mobile, they can do 60, 80,000 lines in a busy weekend on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I've seen the numbers. It's just mind-blowing. The teams don't seem to care, right? They're already putting a ton of acquisition costs back into the customer, the consumer. Why not be aggressive? So what? You have to give them maybe 25% off on the converged offer. So what? At least try to grow the damn base. You're not even trying. Getting to 80,000 lines net positive for a fourth quarter is a total failure. It's a total failure for Verizon. At this point, the more I think about it, the more that I see what scale C-band is at, the more that I see the promotional offerings they have in the market right now, I'm thinking they got to get to at least 200,000, at least. 3 months, the busiest quarter of the year, the last 4 to 5 weeks, slamming busy in retail. They got to get to at least 200,000, man. Especially if their business section does well, they got to get to at least 200,000, man. If they can't even do 200,000, close the door, shut it. It's done. I'm going on a rant the rest of the year. Sampath, go ahead and pack your bags. You're out of there. It's not going to work. The consumer segment is very sensitive. It's a fine line. It's very competitive right now. It's actually highly competitive. Maybe the most competitive the consumer section has ever been. MVNOs are fighting in that space. Cables slamming, throwing around free lines. You just can't be the same Verizon that you've always been. You can't no longer be that. That's not going to work for you. You can throw root metrics around. You can throw JD Power around. It's not working. None of it. And like I said this morning in the T-Mobile video, I'm looking at it from both sides. On the networking side, Verizon does still rank and score better. But like I said, on the other side, it hasn't reflected in any of the numbers. They continuously lose share in the market. They don't grow the foot traffic. They say that converged offerings is meaningless right now. It's not really a part of what they're looking at. And they did almost 400,000 fixed wireless access ads. Just do the math. Just do the math yourself. Just look at the growth where they would have been if they would have converged 20% of that 400,000. And I know out of that 400,000, there's likely a percentage of already existing wireless customers that jumped on the product. I get that, I understand that, but eventually that's going to run dry too, as to use that as an excuse. Eventually, a large part of the percentage of new FWA customers are not going to be a part of Verizon Wireless. You have to converge them. How hard is that to figure out? Even if you got to do 25% off for bundling, give it to them. Grow the goddamn wireless space. How hard is this to figure out, man? So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. I just don't get it. So I'll leave you guys with that. Like, share, subscribe, follow the social media outlets. Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.